So, this is my arm workout, and I wanted to talk about some of the exercises that I'm doing and why I choose these exercises. So, the first exercise I'm doing is an alternating tricep pushdown. And the reason for, so this is my first exercise, and the reason for doing an alternate tricep pushdown is for one, I get to use one arm at a time, and so the resistance is evenly distributed between both arms as opposed to a regular tricep pushdown. I'm kind of very particular about symmetry and how much total volume is pressed on each hand, and I noticed that when it's just the regular tricep push down, I tend to do or favor one side over the other. And so by choosing one arm movement, I'm able to focus on symmetry and equal distribution of weight. And then I'm supersetting it with alternate kettlebell curls. The reason for selecting kettlebell curls is because unlike dumbbells, the weight goes straight down and it's not distributed on the sides. What this ends up doing is, so if a dumbbell, if you bring it to the side of your legs, it usually hits your legs, and there's a moment where you lose kind of the focus on the bicep. But I've noticed that by doing with the kettlebell, I can just go straight down and really focus on the contraction. Another thing that I'm trying to do is turn my palms externally. So what I notice when I do that is I get a lot better contraction on the inner bicep, and a well-developed inner bicep gives a good ball-like look for the bicep. So one of the other things you want to realize about muscle growth is the concept of metabolic stress. And metabolic stress essentially means is like a technical term for getting a pump. It is called that because when you utilize the muscle, your metabolism is at work to, make your muscles do the things that they're doing. And as a byproduct of that, you generate lactic acid and it fills up the muscles. So that's why it's called metabolic stress. So one of the prime contributors to hypertrophy is metabolic stress. By supersetting movements like bicep and tricep back to back, you're able to generate a lot of metabolic stress. And as a result, by supersetting the movements, you're able to get a lot of volume in a short amount of time and also get a really good pump. So by doing movements such as this, you'll get a really good looking arms. And on the bicep curls, really focus on the squeeze. I'm turning my palms outwards and also kind of trying to keep the weight on the tips of my fingers, not necessarily the tips, but somewhere in the middle of my fingers to get the resistance right at the external part. And so this is the next exercise that I do. And for the next exercise, I do this pretty much the same thing, but if you notice, my hands are in like a hammer grip, and I'm also doing this thing where I'm flexing my forearm at the end. And if you can look at my tricep, you'll notice that there is like I'm flexing it and I'm mentally trying to direct blood into it. And so when one is pressing, the other one is just flexing and directing all the blood possible into the tricep, and then alternate. I keep doing this till I hit close failure, and then I do a bunch of half reps to fully hit failure. But yeah, you'll notice that at the bottom I'm really holding, really squeezing, trying to flex my forearms, trying to really, and this is what I was saying. So now I'm doing a bunch of half reps once that movement is exhausted to direct as much blood flow as possible into the tricep. Again, generating as much metabolic stress as possible in order to get a really good pump, and it expands the cells in the or expands cell volume in the muscles and gives them a bigger look. Throughout the workout, I'm supersetting the tricep movements with curls. If there's any movement that feels good on a particular day, I usually do large amounts of them. And actually, since I'm only recording a couple of working sets per each thing that I was doing, I actually do about 10 to 15 sets of each exercise or each superset that I'm showing in this video. And so on the next movement, pretty much what I do is go overhand tricep extensions for a different angle. I noticed that overhead tricep extensions helps me focus on the long head of the tricep a little bit more. Pretty much the same cues. When both arms are extended, I'm really focusing on a flex and trying to direct blood flow into the triceps. It's one arm at a time, so the symmetry aspect of it is good, and as many reps as possible. Throughout the workout, all I was doing was supersets, and for the tricep movements I was always doing above 15 reps for each arm, whatever the movement was. And then for biceps I was doing alternate dumbbell curls. But for the alternate dumbbell curls in this particular superset, I decide to curl it at an angle like slightly towards my body, so towards my chest. That recruits the outer head of the bicep a little better. And so since the first two exercises I did palms facing out, now I wanted to focus a little bit on the outer head of the bicep and direct it inwards. Again, supersetting to create metabolic stress, getting most bang for your buck out of your time in the gym. And yeah. Then I moved into some abs. For abs, the first movement I did was kettlebell sit-ups on the Roman chair, but also shoulder pressing with alternate hands, or did 6 each hand. I feel that this really works my obliques really good, along with the same side, along with the abs on the same side. I really like doing complicated core movements. I just like doing really hard stuff for core. But after that, what I end up doing is quadratus lumborum movement. So I'm having the kettlebell on the side and really trying to stretch. So at the bottom, I'm kind of trying to suspend my body and even suspend my arm and put my arm behind my head to exaggerate the stretch on the side of my body. I do about 6 each side. I'm holding a kettlebell. You can do this on the back extension equipment too, and also without weight. I'm using a 15 just to kind of, I don't know, I've been doing this for a while, so I wanted to kind of push myself today with using a kettlebell for added resistance while doing these quadratus lumborum side bends on the chair. I ended up with some mobility stuff that I didn't really film, but then I did these jump exercises that I saw this UFC fighter Leon Edwards do so he posted something on Instagram and I saw him do this, so I wanted to try it. Interesting exercise, but yeah, just thought I'd share that.